Let's see how to use the Critical Path Planner in a few quick steps through a simple example. We'll start by duplicating the template and placing it inside any Notion page. We'll now begin planning the project by starting with task entry. This isn't because it's the correct or only way to begin, but simply to show that you can start from any part of the system and then connect it to the rest. Later, we'll create a few phases that come to mind, and then we'll see where it takes us. After creating the phases and tasks, we might feel the need to prepare some design reviews and design verifications to be carried out during specific project phases. This allows us to monitor progress more effectively and ensure everything is on track. To do this, we can use the mini templates provided, which help the project manager lead meetings more effectively and focus better on key checkpoints. Now let's assume we want to estimate the duration of each task. Later on, we'll link them to their respective phases. And what if we now decided to keep track of at least 2 major deliverables? Well, let's give them titles and link the phases that will be part of each one.
We are now connecting the various phases that make up the main deliverables. Let's now assign a duration, in days, to each activity. We know that every activity is part of a phase, so one or more activities will make up a phase. The total estimated duration of the activities will then be compared to the calendar duration of the phase they belong to. Now, let's move on to assigning the checks to the different phases. The project manager is free to assign design reviews or design verifications to the phases they consider most appropriate. We'll proceed to assign the main phases the project manager has planned onto a calendar. The project manager places the phases according to their design intent. They will also connect the different phases by identifying which one prevents the start of the following phase or phases. During this process, it's likely they will make several adjustments, freely moving phases or groups of phases forward and backward. In the project tasks database, activities are assigned to the different phases. This is done in this view and at this stage, but it is by no means a fixed order or a single mandatory method. At this point, we decide to adjust the length of each phase to match the total estimated duration of the tasks it contains. Delay messages indicate that the task durations require the phase to be extended. On the other hand, time margin messages suggest that there is a buffer that could be managed. However, in this example, we want every phase to show OK, meaning that the phase length matches the total estimated time of its activities. At any time, it's possible to add new activities, phases, or estimates. We'll now proceed with the integration of the Notion API and access the database where the script will run to calculate the critical path. Once the integration has been named, we grant it access to the database. We double-click on run_critical_path.bat and follow the prompts. We retrieve our Notion integration token. We add a new project and locate the ID of the database where the timeline and phases are stored. We copy the link and paste it into any text editor, in this case, even into the Google search bar. The ID to extract is the part between the last slash and the question mark. The final step is to choose which project to run the calculation program on. In this case, there is only one project, Project 1. In the final part of this example, we arrange the windows to show both the console and its output, as well as what happens in the critical path timeline. As you can see, it displays only the phases that belong to the critical chain. This view is simply a timeline filtered to show only those phases that contain the word critical in a specific property. The real magic, so to speak, lies in how this critical label is written into the phases. And that's exactly what our script does. You can now focus more closely on the most delicate phases of your project. And if you make any kind of change, you can simply rerun the script to recalculate everything. There's also another small feature in this template. It helps track the completion of review and verification documents, but we'll let you enjoy discovering that on your own.